Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another NRL video. My name's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, I will be giving you my round 16 NRL tips of 2024. This is going to be the second Origin-affected round, as we only have 5 games on the trot this week. The team lists have been announced, and I'll go through that next week for my preview and prediction for Game 2. But last week, I managed to get 5 out of 8 games correct. I had a great weekend. Going to 3 games. Rabbitohs, Broncos, we won. Roosters, Eagles at CommBank. Roosters won, sadly. And then the last game on Sunday, Manly vs Dragons. I had a thriller day, that one. Manly winning that one against Dragons. If you have not seen any of those 3 vlogs, make sure you go check them out. I've got a playlist named 2024 NRL Vlogs. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into the tip video. But before we do that, if you're new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're right on the way to 1,600 subscribers. We are only about 30 subscribers away, so hopefully we can reach it by the end of the month, which is next week. Anyways, let's get into the first game of round 16, and the only game on the Friday. No first day game this time, thankfully. The only game happening on Friday. It's another top 4 clash once again. We have from the 4th place Dolphins against the current first place Melbourne Storm, taking place from Suncorp Stadium, kicking off at 8 o'clock. Melbourne coming off a win last week against the Warriors, winning 38-24, I believe was over in New Zealand. So they've won 16 in a row against the Warriors. Warriors led 14-0 against the Storm, and then just like that, Melbourne just clicked in and just won. They find a way to win. I mean, still no Paffenhauser, no Munster. They find a way. And as for the Dolphins, pulling off an upset in a bit. Really great game. Dolphins led 22-0 against Cronulla. They almost blew it to let the Sharks make the Sharks lead 24-22, but another last-minute try from the Dolphins conceded. Sharks got another try in there, but obviously Nico Hines missed the goal, and the Dolphins won just like that. First game in Sydney, they've won. So 1 out of 4 at the moment for Dolphins winning in Sydney, and winning against the Sharks and the Battle of Sea Creatures once again. Very great game, that one. Now, at the moment, both these teams are in the top 4, doing very well. Dolphins have been very great this year. I don't think anyone expected them to do well, except for a few people, of course. But Melbourne is always there as well. But both teams are doing good so far. Anyways, Melbourne are at favourites at $1.60. Dolphins are at $2.35. Now, the only clash between the two happened last year, and Melbourne won that one 24-16 at Suncorp Stadium in a really good, tight game. This will only be the second game between the two, and then these two will clash at Amy Park in, I think it's round 25, I think it is. So these two still got to play each other again. Now, obviously, both teams have been announced for State of Origin, so I'll just go through from which team that the players are representing their state. So for the Dolphins first, we have 2, both for the Maroons. The Hammer, Tabuai Fido in the centres, and also Felice Kafusi, who came as 18th man in Game 1 for the Queensland side, is playing. As unfortunately, Selvin Cobbo and Jermaine Hopgood are currently hurt and injured, so they come to the Queensland side along with Kurt Capewell. So they're the only players gone for Dolphins. As for Melbourne, Harry Grant and Xavier Coates in their respective roles once again. But to make the 20-man squad on reserves, Trent Liero. I was not expecting him to see on there. He's been doing very wonderful at the Storm since his debut with the Storm. Well-deserved spot. Unlikely he will play in Game 2, but you never know what will happen by the time Game 2 kicks off next week. But good on him for earning an Origin reserve start. But unfortunately, that means none of these players will be playing for their games for their team this week, which it's going to be tough. But we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, who am I going to be tipping this one? This one is going to actually be a really tough one. At least 3 games this round are really tough to call, and this is one of them. I think it will be a very competitive game, but I think Storm will get the job done. Now, obviously, I didn't tip Melbourne last week because I tipped the Warriors. I'm a douchebag for doing that, but you just got to take these risks. But yeah, I'll back Melbourne this week. I reckon it'll be a really close game. We'll go Melbourne to win by 6. Scoreline will go 22-16. And try scorers for both teams. You will go Isaiah Katoa from the Dolphins. And from the Storm, we'll go Nick Meaney. So Melbourne to win by 6. Wait, also, if I forgot to mention, Melbourne are $1.60 favourites and $2.35 for the Dolphins. Alrighty, now we move on to Super Saturday. 3 games happening for this one. First one kicking off at 3 p.m. up on the Gold Coast at Cbus Super Stadium. We have the new last place, current Wooden Spooners, 17th place Gold Coast Titans against the 12th place New Zealand Warriors. Well, the Warriors had their 3-game winning streak come to an end against Melbourne. No surprise, they led 14-0. And they just let Melbourne just click like that and ran into the game. But at least Warriors leading 14-0 was good showing, but obviously it wasn't the way to be. So Warriors end up losing 38-24. And they lost 16 in a row now against Melbourne. As for Gold Coast, well, they lost to the West Tigers. They are in last place now. Tigers snapped their 9-game losing streak against them. Holy shit. What a beauty that was. Obviously, it was a terrible game. Titans lost 18-10. They led as well, but it's whatever. It was a terrible game anyway. But what can you do? Tigers games are always going to be shit anyway. It doesn't matter if it's at Cbus, Campbelltown, or Leichhardt. Who knows? But at the moment, the Warriors are favourites at $1.52, and the Titans come back at $2.54 outsiders. Now, as for stay of origin, now Mitch Barnett is in the New South Wales reserves. He did not play game 1. I think he was number 19, but he's now listed as number 18 as a replacement player. So that means he will not, or Warriors have got the bye anyway this week. Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. Barnett will not be playing this week regardless. And also Kurt Capewell as well, which that was a surprising inclusion, but he's played Origin before when he was at the Broncos, and good on him. Obviously, to what I mentioned before, no Cobber and no Jermaine Hopgood. That's why Kurt Capewell was there, and he is number 17. Good on him. As for the Titans, only Mulawiki for Fuanakin is the only player from the Titans playing for the Queensland side. So other than that, no changes there for the Gold Coast. Yeah, so this will be an interesting game, this one. In the past 10 games between the two, surprisingly, Titans have won 6 of the last 10, which includes winning 4 of the last 5 fixtures. Titans have also won 4 of the last 6 games, facing the Warriors at Cbus. Last time these two clashed at Cbus, which was last year, Warriors won 28-18, and that was in one of the later rounds of last year. Overall, Warriors have got the head-to-head against the Titans at 20 wins and 13 wins for the Titans, 20 for the Warriors. I think that's what it is, or something similar to that. But for this game, fairly straightforward. Although Titans will probably have Fafita back, because I don't think he played. Because I didn't even watch the game at all. Was that terrible? I will back the Warriors and win this one. I will go to Warriors to win 13 plus here. I think after that loss against the Storm, I think they will resurge and back up and win. I know they got no Capewell, no Mitch Barnett, but I think they've got most of their players back anyway. Warriors to win 13 plus, but Warriors to win by 16. Scoreline 26-10. Try scorers for both. If Fafita plays, David Fafita to score for Gold Coast. And for the Warriors, if Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, hopefully if he's playing this game, he's expected to return. I'll have RTS going over for the Warriors. Up the wires, 13 plus. Alrighty, now we move on to our second game on the Saturday. Kicking off at 5:30 p.m. at Industry Group Stadium, Gosford. So up here on the Central Coast, the first of two games happening up here on the coast. The other one happening in round 20 between the Rabbits and Tigers. It is the 5th place Sydney Roosters playing against the 6th place Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Now, last week, Bulldogs are coming off their second bye. The week before that, on the King's birthday, they came back to win 22-18 against their main arch rivals, the Parramatta Eels, at Accor Stadium, remaining undefeated at home games this year, which includes the Belmore game from earlier in the year. Winning that one 22-18, sorry, not 22-20, 22-18. In a great contest, 45,000 in attendance for that one. Great game overall. Good to see the Bulldogs back in the top 8 for the first time in so many years. As for the Roosters, they are coming off a win over the Eels at Combank on Saturday, which I attended that one as well. They won 28-18 against the Eels. Now, Roosters did lead 16-0, and they were very lucky to win that because Parramatta caught back up to make it 18-16, and the Roosters did the same thing when they played the Cowboys, but luckily this time it resulted in a victory to the Roosters, not a loss. So it's twice in a row they've conceded more than 12 points to let the opposition catch up and potentially win, but this time they were lucky. But once again, these two will be clashing at Industry Group Stadium, or just Central Coast Stadium as the commercial name for it, or Blue Tongue Stadium, as if I always called it Blue Tongue Stadium when I was growing up on the coast. This will be the second time this sort of clash at this ground too, funny enough. I attended that game last year. It was a thriller. Roosters just won that 25-24. That was a great day. And Roosters have also taken a home game here for the last decade, except for 2020, obviously because of the COVID year. But since 2015, they've taken one home game to Central Coast Stadium, which is great. We need more games up here on the Central Coast, honestly, or even our own team. Anyway, getting out of hand. Anyways, Roosters are at favourites. They're $1.32, and the Bulldogs are outsiders at $3.41. Alrighty, now we go through the origin. So Roosters will have quite a few players. I think it's 6 this time. But just for the Queensland side only, Lindsay Collins will be playing in Game 2 once again. Now, as for the New South Wales squad, no James Tedesco, so he'll be free to play this week. We've got Angus Crichton in the back row. Connor Watson making his Origin debut at jersey 14. So that's 3 of them. Spencer Lini returns. That's 4. And then you got Luke Keary on the reserves at number 20. So 5 players, my apologies, that will not be playing this week for the Roosters. 5, not 6. So I think that's tied with Penrith for the most amount of players playing for both states. But there you go. And as for the Bulldogs, from what I see, only Stephen Crichton, the right centre, is playing for New South Wales. No one else from the Dogs side, as Burton did not make squad did not make Game 2 squad, but that won't matter anyway. But hopefully it won't be a crucial blow for New South Wales, but we'll just have to wait and see. In the past 13 games between the two, Roosters have won 9 of the last 13 games, which includes winning 8 in a row between 2017 and 2021. In the last two of the 3 games, however, the Dogs have won, both out of call. 2022, Bulldogs won 16-12, and then the most recent between the two, Bulldogs won by 4 points, 30-26. And I think that was the Dogs' first win out of court this year as well, which was unreal. But Roosters are looking to get their revenge against the Dogs. And then last time these two played at Industry Group Stadium, which I was at last year, Roosters won 25-24. But who will I be going for this one? This one, I think this is the hardest one to tip for this round. This is definitely the hardest game to tip. On one hand, Roosters have lost a lot of experience due to Origin. And the Dogs are on the rise, but they haven't been really winning away games. So, I don't know. And technically, this is a Roosters home game technically, but it's also a neutral venue for them as well. I don't know. This one is really tough. I had to think about this one, and I thought about it. As much as I hate it, unfortunately, I will be backing the Roosters again this week. I did last week. I only just got away with it. But I think Roosters will win this one. This will be a great game, no doubt, just like last year's game and the first game between the two earlier this year. I reckon the Roosters will win by 2 points only. 2 points! And scoreline, I'm going to go 18-16. Bulldogs try scorer, we will go... I think we will go... who's that winger for the Dogs? Not Adokar, the other one. Blake Wilson, that's it. I think Blake Wilson will be playing this game if Adokar's not available. I think he'll go over to score a try. And as for Roosters, we'll go James Tedesco to score a try. Why not? So this should be a cracking contest. You might imagine I didn't say golden point. I don't think this game will go to golden point. It will be ended by a penalty goal, I reckon. So Roosters to win by 2. Alrighty, now we move on to the final game of Super Saturday. And in my honest opinion, and I'm being a bit biased here, of course, I reckon this will be the game of the round. We have my boys, the 14th place South Sydney Rabbitohs, taking on the 8th place Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. Now, I attended both teams' games last week. Manly winning 30-14, which I got the scoreline correct, which I was shocked. Had a great time at Brookie. Only my second time there, and what a win for Manly it was, 30-14, and donning the Manly shirt once again for the first time since round 11. It was great. And as for my boys, obviously attended last week's solid win over the Broncos in wet conditions, 22-12. And we have won 3 in a row. The first time we've won 3 games in a row since last year. I know I mentioned that the week before when we won 2 in a row against the Titans, when we won 2 in a row when we beat the Titans, but it feels great. We're in a resurgence. We're in 14th place. We're almost out of the bottom 4. Obviously, 2 more wins we will need. 1 more win if we win this one, and then the bye. And that's what we need. Now, to my surprise, the Rabbitohs are the favourites at $1.56. And Manly are at $2.43. Now, obviously, Origin will be a factor in this. I'll go through Manly first. For Manly, there's no Jack Dvojevic. Our New South Wales captain is playing. Homole Olakau'atu is playing as well. And that's it for New South Wales. And as for Queensland, Daly Cherry Evans, the captain for Queensland, is also playing once again. And this time, Rabbits have got 2 players playing for New South Wales. First one is Cameron Murray, returns for the first time since... I think he hasn't played since last year for Origin, I think. and he's starting at lock, which is excellent to see. I mean, as much as I love Murray, I think it should have had someone else for game 2. I mean, we are really desperate for the win, but Murray only came back for one game since his return. But I appreciate that he's playing, but I think we should have gone someone else. But that's just me. And as for the big one, Latrell Mitchell, for the first time since 2021, is playing Origin for New South Wales. Last time he played was in Game 3, I think it was, for Game 3 against the Maroons in 2021. And he's playing in the centres, which honestly I would prefer to see him in centres. But at the moment, the way he's been playing, and he's been a big factor, along with Murray, for our resurgence. But obviously we'll be without them this week, which is unfortunate. But we should have our backs playing very well this week. But anyways, in the past 10 games between the two, we have won 8 of the last 10 games, which includes winning 7 in a row. However, we played each other. We opened up the season in Las Vegas. The Las Vegas rematch this year, as you'll probably call it. Merely won that, snapped the 7-game losing streak against us. They won 36-24 to open up 2024 and open up Allegiance Stadium alongside the Roosters Broncos later on that night, of course. But we are looking to get... But the last time the Manly won against us in Australia was in 2019, where they beat us 13-12. But obviously, that's just a random... It's just a stat, just letting you know. But no, this game's going to be a cracking contest, no doubt. Also to point out, Manly have also lost their last 6 games at Accor Stadium versus the Rabbitohs. The last time Manly won at Accor Stadium against the Rabbitohs was back in the 2013 preliminary final, where the Manly won 30 points to 20 and went on to make the grand final and lose to the Roosters that year. So it's been over a decade since Manly have won at Accor Stadium versus the Rabbitohs. They could have the chance, but unfortunately, they've still got a few players out as well. I mean, they've lost Sipley, they've lost Ruben Garrick and Corey Waddell, to my knowledge, to injury and HIA, which is major blow for them. But I think Manly will still have a good showing for this game regardless. And another thing to point out, this is the first time we are playing Manly in the regular season twice since 2019. So I know we played Manly in the finals in 2021, but I'm talking about the regular season only. It's been 5 long years since we played Manly. And during those times, we've only played them once for each of the regular season fixtures for the last 5 years, and it was ridiculous. But at least we're playing them twice again, thankfully, this year. But anyways, this should be a cracking contest. Obviously, I will back my boys, the Rabbitohs, to win, no doubt. Now, some people may say I might go for Manly, but obviously, I'm never going for Manly over my boys. I already had a few people going off at me saying, oh, you're going to wear Manly or whatever for this game. No, I am not. I am stating that right now. I am not wearing Manly shirt or anything Manly related for this game. Red and green and white only for this game. But anyways, my boys to win this one. Rabbits to win by 4. Going to be a cracking contest. Scoreline, I think this will be a bit high scoring, honestly. We'll go 30-26 for this one. And try scorers for both teams. I think for the Sea Eagles, we'll go Ben Travojevic to score. And for the Rabbitohs, obviously, I'm going to go back AJ and Jack Whiten to score. And who's going to be in for fullback for Rabbitohs? It's going to... I don't know, honestly, who'll back for... fullback for us. Mate, you could go AJ, because he's played at fullback before. But Cody Walker's played at fullback as well. I know he's a bit slower. Or you can even go Jack Whiten. I reckon it's going to be one of them 3 players at fullback. Or, yeah, heck, even throw Damien Cook in there, because he's played there at least once this year, which that's just amazing. Look, Doesn't matter who plays the fullback. Well, I reckon Jai Gray could. I think he's clear to play anyway, and Jai Gray can fill in for Latrell. We'll just have to wait and see for tomorrow. Anyways, up the Rabbitohs for Saturday. Bring it on, Manly. Rabbits to win. Now we move on to the final game of round 16, the only Sunday game, kicking off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at Campbelltown Sports Ground. We have the 16th place West Tigers taking on the Canberra Raiders, who are currently in 7th place. You heard that right. Tigers in 16th because you beauty. The Tigers finally got a win for the 3rd time this year. They snapped their 9-game losing streak. They beat the Titans finally at Leichhardt for the first time since 2008 in 16 years. Unreal. Not a good game, obviously, but if you're a Tigers supporter, and just before the game, days before, Leichhardt Oval got announced that it's getting an upgrade. The government finally acknowledged that Leichhardt Oval needs to be upgraded. So there's going to be upgraded facilities, which it will be including a 3,000 seat grandstand on the northern end, and then I think that was it, and updated facilities for the women as well, which is good to see. But it's great to see that Leichhardt's getting upgraded. Good on the Tigers. They've been wanting this for so many years. They did it for Penrith this year, and they ignored the Tigers for Leichhardt early in the year. But as we all say, patience, it's just imagination. It happened eventually, and I think that's what lifted the Tigers to finally break their 9-game losing streak. See, Tigers are a lot more better at Leichhardt compared to Campbelltown, to which, unfortunately, this stat here, Tigers have lost their last 10 games in a row at Campbelltown, which includes losing to the Raiders twice in those last 11 clashes. The last time the Tigers won in Campbelltown was against the Cowboys in 2020, where they won 36-20. And since then, they've lost every game from 2021 to present day. Can they break the curse this week? We'll have to wait and see. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, Raiders. Obviously, I tipped the Raiders last week. They went down to the Cowboys 34-16. Cowboys led 28-0, and they were booed. Their own fans, the Raiders fans, booed their own home team. I mean, I don't blame them, honestly, but that was a shocking display. And it's not the first time the Raiders have done this at home this year either. But Raiders did come back, but it was too late to lose 34-16. Hard time to beat Canberra. This game's going to be another game that you can take and go either way. But Tigers for an upset, we'll have to wait and see. But they've got to break the curse first. Now, in the past 10 games between the two, Raiders have won 9 of the last 10, which includes winning the last 8 games. Also as well, Raiders have won 15 of the last 18 games between the two, dating back to 2014. Raiders have also won the last 3 games played at Campbelltown, versing the West Tigers, 2018 48-12, 2020 Canberra winning 14-6, and then the most recent clash between the two at Campbelltown, Raiders winning by 1 point, 2019. The last time the Tigers won at Campbelltown against the Raiders was in 2014, in which it was the same score, funny enough, but the other way around. Sorry, it wasn't the same score. It was 19-18, sorry. Similar, but close. But unfortunately, it is what it is, and it's not going to look good for the Tigers. Now, both teams are not affected by Origin selection, so this will be the only game this week that will have No Origin that will have their full squad, or what the Tigers have got. Tigers have still got a lot of injuries at the moment. Raiders, they're okay. They're only missing Jamal Fogarty at the moment still. But for this game, obviously, I will favour the Raiders for this one. As much as I want the Tigers to win 2 in a row, I just don't see it happening. Because when they're going to break the streak at Campbelltown, they don't play well there. I mean, I think they've got like a 40% win-loss record there, and that's not good. Or probably less than that. It's not good. But yes, I will favour the Raiders this one. Only 1-12 though. We'll go to Raiders to win by 10. Scoreline will go 24-14. Try scorers for both. We will go Justin Olam for the Tigers. And for the Raiders, we will go Jordan Rapana. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will wrap up my 2024 round 16 NRL tips. I know this was a bit long because it was five games, but I apologise, but it is what it is. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're on the road to 1,600 subscribers. Let's get there before the end of the month. Anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. And good luck to your tips this week. Bring it on, Manly. I might have been donning the jersey on Sunday, but this week I'm 100% not. If anyone thinks I am, get screwed. Anyways, if you're going to a call on Saturday, I might see you there. Anyways, see you all in the next one.